Howdy, 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 my darling Virgo. Let's get into your weekly tarot reading for June 2023 and see what's poppin'. Girl, it's not a good start if I'm not able to do this bridge shuffle here. See what's poppin', what's good for you this week here, Virgo. All right. Let's just see here. Enough of the introductions, honey. All right, you have the Seven of Cups coming in here. So pretty positive side. I mean, we'll have to pull and go into this a little bit deeper here, obviously, Virgo, right? But the Seven of Cups is symbolizing that a lot of different facets of your life are starting to expand here. All right, so this could easily be in a sense of where your career is starting to develop in some way. Your social life, your personal life is starting to develop. It's like a lot of moving parts are happening for you, which is absolutely beautiful, in my opinion, Virgo, because it's letting you know that the wheels are set in motion here. You know, the energy is actively gaining momentum for you, and you're starting to see it in your physical life. If you guys have been doing a lot of energetic work, be expecting like your manifestations coming into the physical here. All right, and so we have the 10 of Swords. All right, and so definitely let's pull one more card just to clarify this. Closures, honey. All right, definitely closures, things coming to an end, Virgo, that are just no longer serving you at this point in time. All right, now I know this is you for some folks in here, Virgo. It's not going to be a message like with these cards that we pulled here. You're like, oh, Velka, I don't know if I want this type of energy. I promise you actually do here, because this is letting you, this is like your spiritual team, the universe, God, darling, what you align with. This is them letting you know that times are changing for you. All right, times are changing for you, and that they're going to be starting to remove certain people in your life, remove things that are just not of service to you, that are not going to be conducive to your growth, Virgo. All right, and so if you are noticing things are starting to burst at the seams, or things are starting to unfurl themselves, I would be celebrating this here, because this is, you know, especially with this Three of Swords here, there's this message of where it's like your spiritual team is trying to protect you from something or someone. All right, and so don't be fighting it here, because it's like they're really trying to avoid you being stabbed in your back, essentially here, Virgo. They're really trying to avoid you having to deal with some type of disappointment. And so if you start, I won't be surprised with this type of energy, Virgo. This is giving me in like a social way. You'll start noticing how spirit will really highlight someone being like a devil in your life, not being good for you in your life, Virgo. You can anticipate, like, spirit will usually work in such a way where it's like they're putting like a spotlight on somebody, right? And so it's like someone starts acting a little bit more irrational than normal. Usually it's like behavior that you're just like, where is this coming from? They start really just acting out of the blue different than normal, right? And more so now dealing with your like your projects, your work and career and all that, Virgo. This leads me to believe where your spiritual team is trying to direct you in a specific path. All right, Virgo, some of you guys have been really denying honoring your life's purpose and going forward with doing something. Let's just say, for example, that you always have felt destined or called to, Virgo, you know, doing something on social media, right? And you've always avoided it, and you're just like, no, I want to, you know, work a 9 to 5, build up my resources before I do something, right? Or it's like, I get like this message here, Virgo, where it's like you acknowledge like your purpose and what you're planning on doing, right? Maybe you want to write a book or something, but you just haven't made the time for it because you're telling yourself that you're not prepared yet. And so your spiritual team is kind of sitting there just like, all right, Virgo, you want to challenge us? You want to keep on denying your soul's purpose and put it off on the back burner, keep on putting it off, sweeping it off into the corner, right? Where it's all collecting that dust and cat hair and all that. We're going to make sure you have no other option but to commit to doing this, right? And so I won't be surprised, Virgo, for some of you folks that have been denying your purpose there, if you start noticing like your work environment starting to burst at the seams as well, where it's just like, you know, your boss is being a little bit more inconsiderate with your hours, you know, it just is like, especially in like the workplace, I won't be surprised if you start noticing just like your work life starts inconveniencing you more than normal. And it's very intentional, because your spiritual team is really trying to get you back on your trajectory there. All right. So yeah, we have this Eight of Wands here. This is a card of movement. This is a card of travel here. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say, Virgo, that I see you guys moving necessarily. I mean, it might be for some of you guys, especially if you like your environment of who you're living with. Maybe if you're living with your family or a roommate there, you might be getting more irritated with them in that manner there. But I don't see you like moving like necessarily immediately. I see like you laying down the foundation to set yourself up for a big move, but I don't really see like a drastic move happening quite yet. It feels as if there's a few more puzzle pieces that need to transition here. But ultimately, you know, the Eight of Wands is a card of quick success here, Virgo. This is a card of expecting a lot of movement. And again, it's reinforcing the sense for you, Virgo, of where whatever is coming to an end, right? It's being quickly replaced. It's that sense of where needing to release a lot of old energy because your spiritual team is about to be introducing a lot of new stuff into your picture there. All right. And so I guess it's more so I'm wanting to just reinforce this idea to you, Virgo, just because I can see how you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed or stressed out currently because of, you know, because of all these moving parts here. Just understand that by the end of this, by the time you get on the other side of this here, because it's not going to be forever, you'll be very grateful by everything that has happened. I can just acknowledge from a human approach and not just as a tarot reader, where it's like, yeah, it's probably pretty overwhelming here, but don't fight. Don't fight this, Virgo. Don't fight trying to keep certain things in your life. Don't fight trying to stay at that 9 to 5, because I feel like whatever's just not meant for you, whatever has expired in your life here, it's just going to continue to get more and more sour. All right. And it's in the name of where it's of improvement for you. All right. So Eight of Swords right afterwards. All right. And so to me, Virgo, this is like giving me very much so like a vibe of somebody where it's like, let's say you wanted to move, let's say you wanted to leave your country, wherever that is for you, or leave, like you're just moving on out on your own. This gives me very much so like you never saw that as being a possibility. It's almost as if for you where it's like you acknowledge where it's like your purpose is, you know, doing whatever, but you didn't know how to go from point A to point B necessarily, or where it didn't necessarily feel realistic for you right now. And so your spiritual team is kind of pushing you to this point of like expanding your mindset here so that you are more open to this change, because it's this message where it's like it's definitely possible for you to do something. It just is like due to your current circumstances, you're unable to see that there. All right. And so Nine of Wands. All right. Virgo, don't give up. When I see this Nine of Wands, this is the wounded warrior. This is acknowledging, Virgo, where it is that you are essentially just tired, right? You're at this point where it's just like, you know, my cup is full. I just want some normalcy. I want some stability right now, Velka. I don't want to have new energy. I don't want to have any changes. I just want things to just be calm for a while before you do anything else. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this, Virgo. Like, it's more like this is kind of like a message where your spiritual team doesn't really care, because they acknowledge where you might be tired, but they also acknowledge how much happier you'll be once this is all over with here. All right. And so I get this message here where it's like, yes, you're tired. Yes, it feels like a full-time job to keep your head above water here, but don't lose sight of the goal. All right. Don't lose sight with that Queen of Cups there. Don't lose sight of what it is that you're wanting to do in your life. Right. Some of you guys have always said to yourself where it's like, I want to, you know, leave my country, marry somebody out in a different country there, or, you know, you want this, you want some type of self-employed job there. And because just life has really been tough on you for a while now, you stopped having, it's not that as if you gave up on your dreams, Virgo. I see this as, it's more of like a sense of, because you're just so exhausted, you just want to catch your breath a little bit before you do anything else. And I don't think that's, I mean, again, from a human approach, I completely understand it, Virgo. I just went through that myself. But your spiritual team is sitting here saying, it's like, hey, keep your eye on the prize here. We can make certain things happen, but, you know, it's like that sense of where you could be wanting to, you know, connect to your spirit guides and wanting to manifest certain things in your life, Virgo. And your spiritual team is sitting there. It's like, yeah, Virgo, we could help you with X, Y, and Z, but we don't want to invest energy into doing this because we already know this is temporary for you. Where your spiritual team is at right now is like they want to invest. They're sitting there wanting to invest in you, wanting to help have certain things bloom for you, but they're not going to waste their time and energy with something that they know is not going to be long term for you. And so yeah, just be a little bit more open to what it is that they're trying to bring to an end, because naturally, darling, we have that Fool energy. My favorite card in the tarot deck for you. All right, the Fool is represented by the number 0. All right, let me see. So do you even see it in this one? you can kind of see it. It's like right at the very top in the middle there, but you're gonna have to probably just take my word for it there. But ultimately here, definitely clean slate. You know, the Fool also has representations of taking a journey in some capacity as well. So definitely, Virgo, I do see movement coming for you during the summer. I think the only way to make this happen quicker is to just get into alignment with where your spiritual team is trying to guide you to, and have a little bit more faith in them. You know, something that people, I don't want to get too preachy, Virgo, but there's a difference between having faith and just believing in something, right? You can believe, and if I tell you that the sun is shining right now, you can believe me because you look right behind me, honey, and it's, you know, the window, it's getting bright, right? So that's believing. That's not just having faith in me. To have faith in something is to believe in something even if there's no tangible evidence around you that it's going to happen. All right. And so I want you to have a little bit more faith in your spiritual team. I want you to have a little bit more faith in your goals, your purpose, and what it is that you're wanting to accomplish. All right. Have more faith that it's going to happen. It's not your job to figure out how you're going to go from point A to point B to point C, you know, so on and so forth. Your job is to just wake up every single day, keep on breathing, honey, and just keep on taking baby steps towards your goals, whether it's setting macro goals or micro goals here. I really just feel like each day that you wake up, that's where things are progressing for you. All right. And so don't psych yourself out. There's things that are definitely being planned behind the scenes for you, Virgo, that you just are not currently seeing. Four of Cups. And so trust the process a little bit more. I really do feel as if by the end of this summer, you'll be so grateful for this message. I feel like right now when you receive it, you're going to be a little bit more in this place of being like, Velka, I don't care, right? You know, you can acknowledge like where like you could be putting more energy, time and energy into your long-term goals. But right now, like I really do feel as if you're craving just like peaceful, you know, just calmness. And it just kind of seems to be like your spiritual team has other things planned for you. But I think you'll be happy with it by the end of it. So anyways, Virgo, this is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you. Hopefully something in here resonated. If it did, you already know what to do, and I'll talk to you later, my beautiful darling. Bye, Virgo.